Pretty amazing.
Absolutely, and some of this has been in and out of the news, and for really avid sky watchers, this is a big event coming in. It's Comet Ison, and Ison is the first time this comet has ever been in our solar system, so it's a really interesting event. And from now through Thanksgiving, this comet will be moving closer and closer toward the sun, and frankly, NASA astronomers don't know what happens when it gets to the sun and interacts with the sun's atmosphere. It's going to be very interesting. But over the next several days, you'll be able to see it in the eastern sky pre-dawn. And our sunrises will be running right now at 6:44, and you lose about a minute a day. So in the next week, it'll be back around 6:37. But what you're looking for, I have some of the constellations highlighted there. And then in white, of course, we have the planet Mercury, you have Mars there, and there's Comet Ison. And for some folks, it could be visible to the naked eye, and certainly folks have seen it with binoculars here lately. So on a clear morning before sunrise, you'll be able to see it. But there are other comets in the sky. We have 2P Encke up there, Linear X1, which is my favorite name, and then Lovejoy R1, which is also a very interesting comet, and they're all visible if you have the right equipment. But Ison right now, visible with binoculars, are possible with the naked eye. And to give you an idea of what you're looking for, this was taken from the top of Mount Lemmon near Tucson, Arizona. Adam Block with the University of Arizona took this image, again using a small telescope to enhance the photography a little bit. But again, unbelievable images of this. And NASA, this is a NASA image of Ison as it moves toward the atmosphere of the sun. So it's really a special event, and not so much because it's visible. We've seen visible comets before, but it's because this is a brand new comet. It is come from about 4.5 billion years away from the depths of space. First visit to the solar system. So pretty fun. And you don't have to worry about, oh, I can't do it tonight, or oh, it's cloudy. From now through Thanksgiving, this should last. But the one thing NASA scientists don't know, Kim and Mark, is as it gets closer to the sun, what will it do? Will it break apart? Will it survive? Will it get brighter? They're not sure. Everybody's going to learn together.
Oh, at the same moment.
What
are these?
Well, the local media is saying it's probably an algae, but it's very rare, not so common for this to happen in the Netherlands, so that's a bit of a mystery in and of itself. So they're not really sure why the water is turning red here in Noodorp.
The last solar eclipse of the year was seen on Sunday in parts of Africa, the United States, and Europe. It was considered a rare hybrid eclipse, where some parts of the world saw an annular or partial eclipse, and others were expected to see a total eclipse. In the U.S., a partial eclipse was visible from the East Coast shortly after sunrise. The sun slowly changed shape from a golden sphere into a crescent after the moon moved between the sun and the earth.
This morning, people in Southern California are talking about last night's galactic surprise. An apparent meteor sent a fireball shooting across the horizon.
This is security cam video of what many residents in Southern California believe was a meteor blazing across the sky last night.
From as far south as San Diego to as far north as LA. On top of last night's show, astronomers say we're heading into a period of heavy meteor activity next week.
Emergency phone lines and social media lit up with reported sightings. And as Carter Evans shows us, it could be the prelude to something bigger.
In February, a meteor strike in Russia did more than just light up the sky. More than 1,000 people were injured when an asteroid exploded over the city of Chelyabinsk. Experts called it an unusual event that occurs once every 100 or 200 years. But according to a new study from Nature International Weekly Journal of Science, Earth could be hit by a similar meteor strike once every 1 or 2 decades. Physics professor Dr. Michio Kaku spoke to CBS This Morning last month.
We are sitting ducks. That was a wake-up call, what happened in Russia, right? But we can't rely on luck forever. Sooner or later, it's inevitable a big one will hit the Earth.
This is what the inside of a super typhoon looks like. 250 km/h plus winds slamming into a city. A white haze of screaming noise, smashing windows, tearing metal, water and flying debris.
One of the strongest storms ever to form on this planet is making landfall tonight with nearly 10 million people in the bullseye.
We're looking at the aftermath of one of the strongest storms ever to tear across the ocean and smash into land. That super typhoon, 195-mile-per-hour winds,
tore through the Philippines, causing chaos and mass destruction. More than 1 million people were forced to flee their homes, many now trying to salvage what's left.
Ferocious winds and tree-high tidal surges of Typhoon Haiyan destroyed roads, bridges, and homes across a wide swath of the central Philippines. Phone lines are down, power is out. Hundreds of thousands are thronging relief centers, desperate for life's necessities.
Many have nowhere to go. The winds and the storm surge wiped away almost every home in the city. Tacloban's airport is strewn with wreckage, making it that much harder for the military and Red Cross to get aid to the suffering.
Waves offshore have been measured at 50 feet. The storm is about 500 miles wide, nearly reaching the capital city of Manila.
But we know tens of thousands of people are now homeless in that area. This is another common scene that we've been hearing about from witnesses. People just sort of bobbing in the water because of the extreme amount of flooding as well as the wind gusts. So they're trying to get rescued from the water. This is an image of that, but there are reports of countless bodies just sort of floating around in that area. It's a devastating scene. There are a number of other issues.
Officials now estimating the death toll at 2,500, though that is expected to grow.
The Red Cross says 1,000 are feared dead in one city alone, and the death toll in the Philippines is only expected to rise as rescue workers enter the worst hit